We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.
Welcome to another special edition of the Educate.Elevate.podcast. I'm your host, Danny Morrison. In our last episode, we began a powerful conversation about the impact of California Senate Bill 1348 on Black and African American college students. This new legislation officially allows qualified California universities to be recognized as a Black serving institution. If you missed part one of this discussion, you might be thinking, what exactly is a Black serving institution and why does this matter to me? Let me tell you, this is huge. This law brings accountability and clear, actionable steps to guarantee that Black students aren't just getting accepted into college, but are thriving and excelling while they are there. With more Black faculty, programs specifically tailored to Black students, and a determined focus on their success, this designation gives our students renewed hope and confidence that, through higher education, they really can achieve their dreams. We covered a lot of ground last time, but we have so much more to discuss. Guiding today's discussion, once again, is Dr. Abdimalik Buul. Dr. Buul, we're really looking forward to continuing this important conversation, so I'll let you dive right in.
Thank you, Danny. I'm excited as well about picking up where we left off. Before we begin, I'd like to briefly introduce our very special panel members to any new viewers. Dr. Luke Wood, President of California State University, Sacramento, and the youngest permanent president for a four-year public college or university in the nation. He was also appointed by the California State Senate to serve on the California Racial Equity Commission. Dr. Tammeil Gilkerson, Chancellor of the Peralta Community College District in the Bay Area. She's also served as a college president, VP of Academic Affairs and Student Affairs, and was the first Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Innovation Officer for the Contra Costa Community College District. Pamela Haynes, a member of the California Community College's Board of Governors. She has more than 20 years of experience guiding and serving higher education institutions. And finally, we have Joya Miller. Joya is a biology student at Mount San Jacinto College who plans on transferring to a four-year university to double major in biochemistry and neurology. She's also a proud Army veteran, wife, and mother. Thank you all for being here once again. Let's dive right back in. So the designation of a BSI, a Black serving institution, has truly transformed what it means to be a Black serving institution, to be a Black student on these campuses. How has that changed the trajectory of your educational experience, or how will that change the trajectory of future Black students that want to enroll in our colleges?
So when I was a kid, speaking for myself and my siblings, we watched the movie Drumline. And Drumline made me want to be a dance girl so much. And I became one. And I was so good at it, so good that when I went to Southern University, the only reason I wasn't a dance girl is because I slept through the audition, which is my fault. But having that opportunity to live that lifestyle that we see in the movies, it gives us so much credit and hope, and it transforms the way that we think about education. It doesn't feel like a job. It feels like a home. It feels like a family. It feels like the place to be. It feels like you're going to a block party and you're getting something out of it. And I think that means so much to so many people. And to not have any HBCUs set in California, but to have that experience means so much.
This fictional depiction becoming a reality.
Exactly.
Where they're not geographically bound to move halfway across the country. Dr. Wood, can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we talk about most Black students in education, they have three general experiences that we call the D3 effect, right? They experience distrust, where they're assumed to be troublemakers or to have some sort of malintent. It's like the criminalized version of what happens. You see it in K-12, the suspensions and expulsions. You see it in higher education, with students being accused of cheating on tests. The second piece of that is disdain, where we use the they statements. They're lazy, they don't care, they're not really here for school, they're only here for the financial aid. And then the third one is disregard, where we assume that they are academically inferior. They don't have the intelligence to do the work. And so many of our Black students have been treated with distrust, disdain, and disregard. And we want them to be in environments where they can experience hope and dignity. Mm-hmm. And the challenge with that is that if you think about outcomes and what most of the outcomes look like across most of the institutions in California for Black students, we know that the success rates are lower than those who don't experience success. So that means that more students know somebody who didn't succeed than someone who did. They know more students who had a bad experience in the classroom than someone who had a good experience. They know more people who dropped out than those who graduated. And we don't think, from our perspective, that that is a function of the students, their families, or their communities, but of institutions and educators that have not been prepared to effectively and adequately serve them. And so the BSI designation provides a framework, an impetus for institutions to transition to an environment of hope and dignity so that our students can experience what they deserve, which is the very, very best.
And Dr. Gilkerson, we'll talk about 3Ds. How do you see yourself using your 3Ps? I'm gonna give you 3Ps, your power, your positionality, and your privilege, all uppercase or lowercase, to create hope for these Black serving institutions?
So when I came on as chancellor of the Peralta Community College District, I coined passion, purpose, and possibilities. And that's really what I believe is happening at Laney College and Merritt College and Berkeley City College of Alameda, right? Like it is this thing, this is your legacy, it's your birthright, right? We have robbed you of this in so many ways and told you stories that you're not good enough or these kind of things. And everybody has done it. You see it on the news media, you see it in, right, the justice system or the injustice system. We see it in all these spaces. And we're trying to say, come on and take it. Take what's yours. Raise your hand. Fight for liberation. Get what you want for your family and the generation that comes after you. That's what I'm here for. This is the piece, is to hold out the hand and say, grab it and come. And I don't care if you don't know what you want to do. That's the beauty of the California community colleges. You don't have to know what you want. You could change your mind 10 times. We want you to come and say, I raise my hand. I say a student comes to the parking lot, yes, right? Let's get him through the door. Let's get him to that next kind of thing. And so I think that's really what we're trying to say, is there's this hope, and that institutions that say we want the designation, so they're applying for a designation to say that this is what they want. They want you to get your birthright. They want you to come and live your legacy, and we know you want connection. That's what every human wants, right? They want dignity and worth and feeling valued, and that's what we want to create in these spaces for students to be able to actualize themselves and, just find, the genuine abundance and greatness that's already within them, right? Just to figure it out. I'm still figuring it out, so, come on and join me.
Trustee Haynes, Dr. Gilkerson mentioned the term legacy. It's a full circle moment as you being part of the integration period of the California system as a student, and then now coming to see a Black serving institution in the state.
It's true.
Can you talk to us about just the hope and what that would mean?
So as many folks know, I came out of California Community Colleges at Santa Monica College. It was a very different time. And I did not know what my path was going to be relative to being engaged in California Community Colleges as I have been over the last several years. It's transformative. And I feel like that student who starts out not quite knowing what their path is and recognizing that BSI is a positive transformation, not a negative one, changes the whole trajectory of success. And this may sound way too big, but I don't think it is. We're moving into a designation that has such power here in California. I've just come off of a third trip to Ghana, and what I have recognized all along this journey is our 400 years here in this country, where we're continuing to have to try to transform. And this is a wonderful step in a really positive way to bring something that's important to our students.
Absolutely. One thing I'd love for us to tackle, if possible, is we mentioned the sense of belonging from the student's perspective, but just also recruiting and retaining folks committed to serving Black students, classified professors, administrators, faculty. So if we can kind of tee that up, it creating a sense of belonging for them too, because the whole educational ecosystem becomes the BSI at that point.
So I have a quick story that I'll tell. So when I was the president of Laney College, my first commencement ceremony, we had a valedictorian, and she had been gone through a very difficult life, a life of drug addiction, being justice impacted, having many, many things, and at some point, multiple children, and had decided at one point to get healthy and get well, and to decide that then she was going to move out and come and actually go back to school, and found a place at Laney College that really supported her. So faculty, counselors, staff who wrapped around their arms and said, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And she ended up years later, right, graduating as the valedictorian, standing on stage next to me, giving a speech, talking about Langston Hughes's, right, like seminal poem, and really calling out and galvanizing. My first year back as chancellor, the district at Laney College's graduation, I'm standing on stage. And that year, I actually give what? Graduation to her son, who was incarcerated at the time that she gave her valedictorian speech, was in his cell, actually watching it on a burner phone, watched his mother give the valedictorian speech and said, I'm going to come out, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to do. He graduated this last year and is transferring out to a historically Black college university. So it is this, there is power in the work when you have people who care about, no matter how you come, take the step. Walk through the door. I think what a BSI designation says is we're trying to work with intentionality. This is your place. We see you, right? And the opportunity that it has for generations. I mean, what a privilege, that students are coming to us.
I love what you said so much. My favorite poem is actually From Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. It has inspired me to continue even after that long halted period of my life. Also something, we're only gonna praise our Black community in February. Why wouldn't we do it year round? Why wouldn't we have those projects in the classroom? Why wouldn't we analyze a Langston Hughes or a Maya Angelou, or I can't even think
Celebrate
of
Black scientists,
Exactly.
right? And see
Celebrate
mathematicians
them.
and like what
Yes.
things. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Black
So-
Excellence 365.
Absolutely.
I think that that's something that's so important that we need to bring into the college system, not just here in California, but worldwide.
It's critical to the work, and I think that's what hopefully the Black serving institutions will provide, is not just, the representation and racial, but the curriculum and the pedagogy and the andragogy and the consciousness and the resources, and also in the self-efficacy and self-esteem of the students to say, hey, I understand that a lot of my historical figures are revolutionary figures, but also part of evolution, not just revolution. Yeah. We have advanced society. We have scientists and inventors and contributors that have moved this globe forward. And so to have that space of ingenuity and innovation is going to be a game changer for many people.
Let's also appreciate the fact that a Black serving designation not only will draw Black students, but will draw more Black faculty and staff.
Absolutely.
For those individuals, now it's like, hey, there's an institution that's not just saying that they care about me, but they're demonstrating that they care about me. And I can go there and I can help to build that village for all the other students who are there and help them to succeed. And so I think that we want to diversify, right, our faculty and staff. I think that what you'll see is with the BSI designation that those institutions will have an easier time diversifying in terms of Black representation because of the entire mixture of that environment and what it's going to bring.
Trustee Haynes, can you talk about what it would mean for communities? We are community colleges, right? So what would the designation of BSI mean for our community?
So in communities of color, in particular the African American community, the gold standard in many cases are the HBCUs. And they're held in high esteem, even though many of our students can't afford to go there, all kinds of things prohibit. But to be designated a BSI in a neighborhood college would say to old-timers, folks who walk past that college, who may not have ever gone, but they have grandchildren, they have children, it says that we see you. We know you exist and we care about you and we want you to come here. Our doors are open. And I think that's a really powerful invitation that they will see the college as their own college.
It has been such an honor to hear each of you share your experiences and perspectives today. These conversations are important because they ensure we never lose sight of what's really important. If we're honest, historically, higher education hasn't always set Black and African American students up for success. Disparities in graduation rates, access to resources, and even the feeling of being seen in classrooms and on campuses have been issues for Black students across the country. SB 1348 aims to shift that narrative, starting right here in California. For years, California's community colleges have led the way in engaging and supporting Black students across the state, providing them with information, resources, and the hope they need to succeed. With this new Senate bill, once again, California's higher education institutions are setting a new standard for the rest of the nation to follow. I want to personally thank each of our panel members, Dr. Luke Wood, Dr. Tammeil Gilkerson, Pamela Haynes, and Joya Miller for investing their time, energy, and hearts into these discussions. Your commitment and dedication to providing a stronger foundation for success for our Black students today and for years to come is inspiring, and I know our audience feels the same way. Thank you. Danny, I'll turn it back to you.
Dr. Bull, thank you, and thanks to each of our amazing panel guests as well. Here's another live performance on the Educate.Elevate podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Caleb, and I'm here to perform a song I wrote called Ready or Not. I attended Sacramento City Community College, and I hope you enjoy. Shout out to Educate.Elevate podcast.
California's community colleges have always been committed to providing hope and a path to success for Black and African American students of all ages. And now, with the addition of the Black Serving Institution designation for colleges and universities statewide, the opportunities and possibilities for our Black students are even greater. California's community colleges also want to remind you that no one has to chase their dreams alone. So if today's conversation inspired you to take the next step in unlocking your future through higher education, check out ICanGoToCollege.com. From there, click on Black and African American Student Success. You'll find a ton of great info about on-campus support, communities like Umoja, Amend, and Black student unions, as well as guaranteed transfer opportunities to CSUs, UCs, HBCUs, and other four-year institutions, financial aid opportunities, and more. That's ICanGoToCollege.com. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember that when you know where to start, nothing is impossible, because to educate is to elevate.
We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.